Hello, this is Grandmaster Karat with the second skill set you need to know to be a great mixed martial arts fighter. You need to know how to kick like a kickboxer or a Thai boxer, not like a Taekwondo or karate student. One of the most beautiful things you can watch as a great Taekwondo kicker or karate student doing is jumping, flying, twisting, spinning double kicks. When I did my demos in the 80s, in all the big tournaments, there was a guy named Eagle Park who used to blindfold himself and do a jumping, turning, back, spinning kick 10 feet in the air and break 4 inches of wood. Almost invariably, he would not break the wood on the first try, or the second try, or the third try. And in time, it would take him 4 or 5 tries to break the wood, and he would get a great cheer. Now, the point of the story is to illustrate two things. One, how difficult it is to do a great flying, jumping, reverse spinning, jumping side kick and back kick. And two, most flying and jumping, spinning back kicks don't work. They don't work in a demo, and they don't work in a real fight. If you want to be sure to get hurt in a real MMA fight, or even a street fight sometimes, just try some flashy kicks that you learn in Taekwondo or in a basic karate class. The high roundhouse, the jumping axe kick, the flying side kick, the jumping front snap, the tornado kick are all beautiful and impressive, but they simply don't work in an MMA ring. They might work in some street fights, especially if you do them to start the fight or against a stupid and weak opponent. But they usually don't work in an MMA ring for the following reasons. One, they don't have any knockout power. They're mostly point kicks. They give you a point in a karate tournament, which will get you in nothing but trouble in an MMA tournament. Two, they leave you open to getting hit after you kick and getting knocked out. When you do a flying, jumping, turning, spinning kick, you leave yourself open for counter-punching, throws, and attacks that could get you knocked out. And number three, they require too much time and technique to be practicable for the average person to do. It's great to be able to jump 10 feet in the air and break 4 inches of wood, but the average person can't jump 4 feet in the air and certainly can't break 3 inches of wood. The amount of skill required to do these flashy kicks is simply beyond the average ability of most mixed martial arts students. Number four, the kicks that you learn don't cause enough damage to the opponent to actually stop them. When you throw a high, quick, flying roundhouse to the head, unless you land on the temple or the jaw, you're just going to do nothing but make your opponent mad and leave yourself open for a counterattack. Now, before you and your Taekwondo teacher have a heart attack, and you're in your great hurry to protest and to protect the real power and usefulness of the flashy kicks that you've learned over the last 10 years, just watch the MMA fights on TV and count exactly how many MMA fighters won the fight by doing a jumping tornado spin kick. None. None. Now, if any of these kicks actually work, you'd see them done in the MMA matches constantly. Every time there was an opportunity to do a dumping tornado kick, and there'll be plenty of opportunities, you see it done to win the fight. But they don't do them because they don't win and they don't help them. Now, that being said, there are plenty of good kicks you can do in MMA fights, and these kicks mostly come from kickboxing techniques and Thai boxing techniques. The fighters who practice Thai boxing know all too well what will work and what will not. They do some high kicks, they do some spinning kicks, but they do more low power kicks and leg kicks and kicks to the knees and the ribs. They do some jumping kicks, but they're usually jumping knees, and they land on the head of the opponent that's being held to make the kick more effective. If you want to use your kicks in an MMA fight, you better practice kicking techniques with a Thai boxer or a kickboxing teacher. You need to practice doing your kicks against someone who is trying to knock you out when you do them, not someone who is standing there for a demo and holding the board. You know, I asked the great Guy Metzer, who is a world kickboxing champion and a world UFC champion, and is considered one of the most powerful and devastating kickers in the karate tournament world, why didn't he use his tournaments? He could throw his kicks higher and faster and harder than anyone I ever fought. He could do a side kick into the side of your face while you were